Two, one. All right, you can go.
All right, hi guys. Welcome back to Phone a Friend News. I am one of your ambassadors of gaming, Chris.
I'm Ambassador Michael.
He called himself by his title this time. It's a big day for all of us.
Really.
But anyway, this is just where Mike and I just discuss random gaming news articles we find. And Mike, why don't you start us off with some sad news today?
I will be the bearer of bad news. So, GameTrailers.com is shutting down. And this makes me sad because they've been around for 13 years. They've been around since like right before YouTube started up. Like they started up and then YouTube started up like right after them. So, they've been around for fucking ever. And they were one of the first people to do like online games media.
Basically, almost everything that's on YouTube right now.
Yeah. And so they announced on Facebook, what was this? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday they announced on their Facebook that they were closing down, and they wrote this really long, note to the fans and stuff saying thank you for everything, and we're proud we helped bring this world into being. That is the legacy of game trailers. And it kind of sucks though, because on top of that, the employees didn't even know they were closing that day until like 3 hours before they put that message up. I was like, oh, by the way, you don't have jobs anymore. I'm like, that
I,
would be super depressing. That kind of sucks.
I mean, well, when you really think about it, um, game trailers almost went the way of Blockbuster. And when I say that, I mean
Mm-hmm.
we go on YouTube. If you really want to find a game, you search on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of people who are really good at what they do. So like
Yeah.
if those people that you watch, and unfortunately, just watching game trailers just isn't really why watch game trailer when you can watch the actual gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't do just that. They started like last year. I guess they started moving into like the personality thing. You know what I mean? And doing different stuff. But their problem, I guess, was that they were posting everything on their website to get ad revenue from their website and just refusing to do YouTube.
Mm,
So from what I've been reading and hearing is that that's what hurt them ultimately. Is that they just weren't going the route of YouTube like most people do and trying to get ad revenue from their website when they could have made more money from YouTube, more than likely. So
they were stubborn. They're like,
yeah,
no,
they're like,
we're
no, we're
putting it
not
up
gonna
on our
do it.
website.
Well, I like IGN does the same thing, and it's like sometimes they hurt when they don't get lots of views on their stuff, you know.
Yeah, but
So
IGN's a little different. IGN
true,
is one of the biggest gaming sites, if not the
yeah,
biggest gaming site out there.
yeah. They
But
have
it's
like
it's
offices in
bittersweet.
3 countries or some shit like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
ridiculous.
bittersweet.
It is.
Um, but especially stuff like Adam, because gaming has only taken the world by storm recently.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, people that were there for the origins of kind of the say the gaming revolution.
Yeah, cause it like
My own coin term, trademarked.
the like gaming was a big deal and stuff before then, sure, but it was like it's viewed as like a subculture. It was grouped in with like people that read comic books and stuff like that, the nerds, as they like to say. And
I'm a nerd and I'm proud, bro.
it didn't become like a socially normal thing for people to go, oh, you play video games. Like nobody looks at you like you're a fucking weirdo when you say that, because it's just a normal thing. So, but up until like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, it was still kind of like a back and forth thing with people. Some people thought it was like super nerdy and other people didn't. I mean, but they were transitioned through all of that, so
Yeah,
that was cool. But that's a sucks that a lot of people lost their jobs, but I'm sure they'll be able to find jobs in different websites and stuff like that. I'm sure they'll be able to
yeah.
bounce back.
With all that experience that they have, those
Yeah,
people that have been there for a long time. Wouldn't it suck if it was like your first day?
yeah, that
It's
would
like
suck.
yes, and you just oh, you're all fired. Bye.
That would be horrible. I guess they laid off people last year, and then they laid off more people this year, and so I mean they had to see it coming, but it's still
I'm
sad.
sure there were I'm sure there were rumors.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it was like from the top down. They'd heard stuff. I'm sure, but I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to something that doesn't make me sad.
I am going to move on to something that is more definitely you can be taken a lot of different ways.
Hmm.
So Amazon put out a professional, quote unquote, professional game engine.
Okay.
And I don't really have to explain it to you gamers, but just in case you have someone with you that does not know what that is essentially what it sounds like. It's the whole designing mechanism of any given video game.
Hmm.
Um, and basically, they say, "Hey, go have fun with it." But I would think this is cool, but if you make say if you made a multiplayer game and it was successful, you have to pay Amazon.
Hmm. That's
You
interesting.
if Yeah, because you're using their engine.
True.
So it's like,
I get it. Well, multiplayer.
eh,
Because the thing with multiplayer is people that make multiplayer games. Generally speaking, hypothetical. Let's say I take this engine, right? I build a multiplayer game. I put it up on Steam, and I put a shit ton of microtransactions in it. Amazon's gonna be like, bro, I want some of that money back. Like, I hooked you up, now hook me up.
I'm not saying that it's like horrible. I mean,
No, no, I get it.
it's a thing.
But you have to be
I
making more
guess
money than they're charging you for it to be worth your time.
exactly. Um, and I guess for some reason this makes me think of like this isn't a bad thing. I am not in any way making fun of this, but
Hmm.
for some reason it makes me think of like, hey, anyone in the office have a good idea for a game? No. Well, we got a game engine. Why don't we just post it online and we'll let someone else make the game and we'll make the money?
So, oh,
Genius.
see, but the thing
Genius.
is that I think it's nice that they're not charging you for offline stuff, like single player stuff. That's fine. But a lot of people do want to incorporate multiplayer in their game to give it longevity. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
people keep coming back and playing it, that kind of shit. So I mean, it makes sense. Real quick though, I wanted to read this because my curiosity was how good is this? You know what I mean? Because Unity's out there now too. You know about Unity? Okay,
Yeah.
Unity. Everybody and their fucking mom likes to use Unity and make Steam games and put them up on Steam and shit. Um, but it's built off of an engine called CryEngine, which the company licensed last year and has driven everything from art games like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture to Homefront: The Revolution. Which is weird that they mention Homefront because it's not out yet. Um, I'm gonna play the beta. The beta is coming out this weekend for Homefront, so I'll find out how that is. But Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is pretty. So I mean, if you can make it in that engine, you can probably make a really pretty game in it at least, which is
Oh yeah.
nice. Because there's a lot of there's good developers out there, but they don't have the money to go pay. You know, I've heard sometimes game engines could cost up to thousands of dollars if you don't make your own. You know, like even the Unity stuff, some of it costs like $200. So that is nice. I'm glad. Hopefully, we see some good games come out of it because my guess is what's gonna happen first is the same shit that happened with Unity. A bunch of shitty stuff is gonna go up on Steam, really like garbage, and then there'll be like we'll have to pick through and we'll find the good ones.
People are gonna have to sift through the
Yeah.
shit.
Well, Steam
Hope to find a
already
gold
has a
nugget.
fuck ton of awful like shit that people put up there. I'm not hating on Steam. Steam has a lot of good games, but like I'm talking
It's
about
not Steam's fault.
No, well, it's kind of Steam's fault. They don't really do anything about it. They just kind of let you put your shitty game up there, and they don't say anything about it. They don't care. They want to make money. They don't give a fuck. That's fine. Steam, you do
Yeah.
you. I don't PC games, so it's not my problem.
Steam, you do you.
I don't PC games, so it's not my problem. Um, anything else to say on that?
Uh, no, not exactly. Just a big one more thing I probably didn't mention
Mm-hmm.
is they say professional engine. It's not professional. There's no way. It is most likely a very, very, very neutered engine.
It could be.
Like
I
I
haven't
most
looked.
likely can't. I most likely can't design something that looks like it could be on a PS4. Like, it is a most likely a neutered engine.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen what people made in Unreal Engine 4? Like the
No.
Unreal Engine 4 things? Unreal Engine 4 is, I don't think it's free, but I think you can just like fuck around with it and stuff, I guess. And people make some really pretty ass shit, so I mean, I believe it. It's possible that it is I mean, the games I've seen made off of the engine are good. They're pretty. But it takes time. It takes like years to make a quality game off of an engine that you don't make. So,
Yeah,
we'll have to see. We'll see what comes. Probably a bunch of shit first, though.
probably.
Anyways, go ahead.
Oh no, you've got something next.
What do I got next? We got Titanfall next?
Titanfall.
Alright, we'll talk about Titanfall. Alright, so this is an article from GameStop, and it says lots of new details about Titan 2 have come to light thanks to an interview with lead writer Jesse Stern, given to Forbes. In their interview, Stern, who worked on the first game, says the game will have a single-player campaign. Oh boy.
Thank you.
And for some reason, it's getting a TV spin-off show made by Lionsgate. Okay. Like, I don't know why, but alright.
Hey, dude, people eat up that sci-fi
They'll
stuff.
watch it. Like when Halo had its thing going on, people watched it
Well, oh, you mean forward? You mean
until
what
like
was the name?
Forward Dawn or something like that.
Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah, that's what it was called. Yep. Um. So Stern says that Respawn Entertainment began development on Titanfall in late 2014, but he's not sure when the game will launch. If it'll launch later this year or early next year. He said, for its part, EA confirmed that Titanfall 2 is scheduled for arrival in fiscal 2017, so the business calendar. So anywhere between April 1st of this year and March 31st of next year. So that's still a pretty big window, but at least we're getting it within the next year and a half.
Okay, we're
Hopefully.
I'm gonna say something here.
Go ahead.
I am a very narrow gamer. I don't like to try new things. I like to stick with what I know. I tried playing Destiny, like the first level or two. I hated it, and then a few months later, I saw Michael here playing the Crota raid, and I thought it looked fun, and then I got into it. Titanfall had no one had ever, it was the first of its kind. But it had one big thing going for it.
What's that?
Call of Duty Ghosts released the week before the Xbox One released.
True.
And everyone wanted to play it then, and of course, no, a lot of people didn't want to buy the console until all the bugs were worked out with it. You know what I mean? So it was a launch title for the Xbox One, and of course, I hated Ghosts, as many people did. I hated Call of Duty Ghosts, and I figured
a lot of people did.
I don't have the only game I had for it, I think at the time, was Minecraft.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'll give the shooter a try. That is an amazing, amazing shooter. The movement is similar to Black Ops 3. There's wall running, and then you have your Titans too that you call down. One of the best things about it is basically the maps and the buildings are like really high, and they're not exactly, there's no real barriers. And when I say that, I mean, of course it's a closed-in map. You can only go so far over the edges, but you can get as high as you can climb. So you get sniped in Call of Duty, there's only a variable amount of places they can be hiding. In Titanfall, you get someone with a sniper rifle, they could be on top of any building. There could be anywhere.
Or on the ground.
Or on the ground. It's just the maps. The maps aren't just wide; they're tall.
Yeah.
It is a really, really, really fun first-person shooter.
I liked it in the short time I played it. I'm more excited to get into it when there's a shit ton of people actually playing it, so that way I can feel involved with people.
Michael didn't own an Xbox One at the time Titanfall was released.
I didn't own an Xbox until right before Halo. No, Forza. I got it when Forza came out, which I still didn't beat.
So, c'est la vie.
Yeah.
But that is definitely a game worth trying. If you enjoy Call of Duty, if you enjoy Halo, um, and even if you enjoy third-person shooters, because it has when you're in your Titan, that's all a third-person aspect.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. It was weird. It's interesting. I like
It
it
is
though.
that's an amazingly fun game. Mike played it after it was kind of dead,
Yeah.
so because once what was the game? Once Destiny came out,
Yeah. Once Destiny came out, like that number dropped because there wasn't shit to play.
that's just it. Destiny had not Destiny. Titanfall had a lot going for it because it was the best first-person shooter title out at the time.
Yeah.
They had Ghosts for Xbox One, but um, for one, it was designed on the 360's hardware, so it kind of there wasn't really much of an advantage
Yeah.
in playing it on the one. It was quite literally
Just a port.
designed for the 360 and then ported
Yeah.
up a generation. Like,
It's weird.
who does that?
It's easier, faster. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, Titanfall had a good run while it was out. It just there weren't a lot of Xboxes out at the time.
I
So
loved Titanfall. That is a really fun game. But unfortunately, we don't really have much aside from that fact. One more thing. The campaign was it had a really interesting thing. There was no single player campaign. There was a campaign, but it was a
mm,
multiplayer playlist.
yeah, yeah.
And essentially what it was normal game modes with like you hear some dialogue and stuff happening in the background.
It was like
Um,
domination. It was like
yeah, it
capture
was.
things
hmm
and shit, and it was kind of
Um,
boring.
and the thing is, when you would go into the playlist, it would drop you into a random one.
Yeah, like so you
So
had no idea what the fuck was going on. It was
you had
awful.
no idea what was happening. And I'm hoping that in Titanfall 2, as they're putting in a single player campaign, I'm hoping that they will shed some light on like the events that happened in Titanfall
Mm.
1, because if not, it's just going to leave people like, what? Like,
You
what are you talking about?
you know what I think about this honestly? Because EA
Hmm.
recently, EA's on this kick right now, right? They want people to think they're not bad, shitty people, and EA wants to like expand into other things. Like they have shooters and things like that, but they want to get into like I forget what the hell it was, but they're missing a genre, like a whole fucking genre they just don't have, and they're trying to move more into different genres and shit so they can get everybody. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Titanfall could be their Call of Duty. I don't know if it'll be as successful, but it could be their Call of Duty.
Well, people who designed Black Ops, I
Mm,
know that Treyarch, um, a few people that formerly worked at Treyarch, came into the development team for Titanfall 1.
I believe it.
Um, yeah, that's why the gameplay, like if you play Halo, if you main Halo and then go try and play Call of Duty, it's awful
Yeah, you play like shit because they're
unless
two
you're a
different
really,
games.
really great gamer. But as for me, I'm exceptional at Call of Duty, or at least I like to think I am.
Yeah, you're pretty
Um,
good.
and then I go into Halo and I'm just Butterfingers, dude. I can't get a kill to save my
Yeah,
life.
it's funny because I do good at Halo and I fucking suck at Call of Duty. Like I do
I'm
moderately good at Halo, but I fucking suck at Call of Duty.
I'm
So
terrible at Halo. I'm also terrible at I'm also terrible at
Mario
Destiny's Crucible.
and Mario, you fucking suck at Mario.
I am terrible at side-scrolling Mario,
It's funny. I'm just
but we're
busting
gonna
your
leave that
balls.
one be. Okay. And then I have something that I feel like a lot of people will be heavily opinionated on. Now, you can pay some colleges um, recognize gaming as a sport,
Mm,
and you can use, if you're really good at it, you make the team, and you can use that to pay for some of your tuition, just like playing a sport. Now, the reason I say this is heavily opinionative is because a lot of people say NASCAR isn't a sport, and one of those people is me, or at least it was me. But then I think of gaming the same way. People say, "Well, how is like what defines a sport?"
yeah,
Ultimately,
yeah, true.
what defines a sport? They're driving around a circle, probably getting insane amounts of vertigo, and I'm just sitting in a chair, swallowing Mountain Dew, eating nachos, and like
and beating
playing
the
video
shit
games.
out of people online.
Exactly. Um, so um, I think it's cool, and it'd be really awesome if it broadened because I would love to
Hmm.
attempt. I'm sure there'd be a lot of people trying out for
Yeah.
stuff like this.
Well, there right now it's limited to, from what I'm reading here, it's limited to games made by Blizzard. So the things that list here are StarCraft, Hearthstone, and Heroes of the Storm, and those are all
Mm,
PC games, which were not.
Hearthstone, dude.
I heard Hearthstone's
That's
really good though.
it's not easy.
I've heard Blizzard doesn't make easy games usually. Their games are usually pretty fucking hard. Um, but it's interesting though because part of it is your college. From what I understand, part of it is your if you win, your college will take part off, and then Blizzard will also pay part of your tuition
Oh,
for winning.
badass.
Hell yeah! So that's pretty cool. But don't get me wrong, you have to be like crazy fucking good at those games.
Yeah, just if you're like me, and I like to think I'm good. The only
Mm-hmm.
reason I think I'm good is because I have over a 1.0.
Yeah.
In my book, if you get at least one kill for every time you die in Call of Duty, that makes you good. That is just me.
Did
That
I
is
ever
my own opinion.
did I ever tell you about the MLG dude I faced one time? And I think it was Modern Warfare 3.
No.
He wasn't legit MLG, but I could imagine him being because I was in free for all, and this dude legitimately his normal KD was a fucking 6-0, and I was like, God fucking damn, like this dude is crazy, and I thought he was just gonna be a bitch, like you know what I mean? I thought he was gonna be a camper or something like that. No, he's just running around just slaughtering everyone. And I'm like, holy crap, this
Dude,
guy is amazing.
you know what that makes me think of?
What?
Rust from Modern Warfare 2. I would
Fucking
anytime
Rust.
I went on free for all on Rust,
Hmm.
I would just put akimbo P90s with rapid fire.
You,
And
you're that asshole.
you would essentially just run around and go
Yeah,
just,
that didn't fucking work. It
it
was the
worked
worst.
too, dude. Those were the best.
It's the worst
Dude,
thing ever.
The P90 wrecked.
It did.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, that's all we have. So
Hey,
keep checking in on our YouTube channel.
I
Mike
wasn't
uploads
done.
a lot. I plan what'd you say?
I said I wasn't done.
Oh, you aren't done?
Yeah, we have one more. We
Do
had
we really?
Binding. I thought we had Binding Isaac. I thought we were doing Binding Isaac. Fuck it, we're doing
Oh,
Binding of Isaac.
I completely forgot about the Nick of Isaac. So apparently they took it. Apple took it down from their app store.
They rejected it. They were like, "No, we don't want this. This promotes violence against children." And I was like, "Kind of does. It's kind of fucked up. It's really fun, but it's really fucked up."
They have no problem having kids work in their factories.
He's calling you out, Apple. What are you gonna do about it? No,
I'm
I'm
just
just
saying,
kidding. Please don't revoke my licenses.
please don't. The point I'm
um,
trying to make is that a lot of almost all big companies do shady stuff,
yeah,
particularly clothing companies do a lot of shady stuff. Um,
yeah, they scare me a little bit. Um, just so I'm reading this article right, and I just want it to be known that the Binding of Isaac, Nintendo let on their consoles.
think about that.
Nintendo let the Binding of Isaac on, but Apple
Ninten-
won't for its
Nintendo's
integrity.
changing. Have you ever
True.
seen Bayonetta?
Yeah, I've heard good things about Bayonetta.
Yeah, Kayla, um, my girlfriend has it for the Wii U, and I've watched the gameplay, and it is extremely sexually explicit.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I actually learned some facts. Apparently, when concepts were sent to Nintendo to, they were saying you need to show more cleavage.
Huh.
Nintendo said that.
Well, because that game is a Wii U exclusive.
It
The
is a Wii U
the
exclusive, and
first
they're
Bayonetta
obviously
wasn't, right?
no, Bayonetta 1
Yeah.
wasn't an exclusive. Bayonetta 2 was Wii U exclusive, and I
I
think
believe it.
Nintendo was just attempting to broaden their audience,
They
with all the Mario games and
they
stuff.
need to. You can play Mario 1 minute and then be playing a scandally dressed swordswoman.
She's not a swordswoman.
I don't know.
She uses guns, dude.
I don't know. I know nothing about Bayonetta other than I've seen her picture like twice ever, and that was because of her going to Smash.
I got her. I got her on Smash.
Is she good?
She is very good.
Very
She
nice.
hits hard. I'm not good with her though. She's good when you use her properly, but not me.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, it's shocking that Apple would do that just because, for the most part, they let people have like a, kind of product freedom,
For the
you know,
most part.
for the most part, and then out of the blue, they're like, no,
Yeah.
this is bad. When they let games like Douchebag Beach Party, you
All
know what that
right.
game is?
No, but it
It
sounds
is
awful.
it is essentially a point and click game, or on a cell phone, a
Yeah.
point and touch, um, and it's basically you trying to be a douchebag. Like
All
you
right.
go to the gym, you get your muscles like gigantic, you get your hair like done, you wear like three polos over each other, and have your like your tight pants sagging down your boxers. Like it is a legitimate
That's funny.
like it's like animated Jersey Shore compact into a game, and
That's hilarious.
they allow that on the App Store, but no.
The Binding of Isaac is too detrimental. I thought that honestly, the only reason I'm thinking that is because maybe a child clicks on the App Store and accidentally buys The Binding of Isaac, and you could imagine how possibly wrong that could be if a young child was playing that game. Because that could fuck them up
Dude,
a little bit. That game,
the Binding of Isaac is grotesque,
it
dude.
is.
It's
It's a
it's
good
so
game though.
it's so cool, but it's so disgusting.
It is. You shoot fucking poop with your tears. It's like
Yeah, poop
what?
drops more poop. Some creatures just fart and it damages you. Um,
You shoot one of the enemies and their face is like all fucked up and grotesque looking, and then when they die a bunch of flies pop out of their face. It's
yeah,
like
it gets
disgusting.
disgusting. Sometimes you have to break open poop to find things. Like it's disgusting. It's a
Yeah,
very
it
gross
is.
game, but it's a good game.
It is.
Apple's gonna come bust my door down after that
Apple's like,
child
we're
comment.
revoking your fucking iTunes license. We're revoking your Mac OS software license. Have
It's a
fun using
nice.
that MacBook. They
That's
can't
a
fucking
nice.
use now.
That's a nice Mac Mini. It'd be a shame
Shame
if we
if
revoked your licenses,
and you weren't able to do anything about it.
right?
They're like, go ahead, talk more shit. See what happens.
Exactly, dude. Dude, Steve Jobs is gonna crawl out of his grave, and he's gonna. You know what? That's too
It's
dark.
too
I'm not
much.
going there.
It's too
I'm
much.
sorry. It's too dark.
All right, now
But
we're
anyway,
done.
now we're done. Check us out on YouTube. Mike definitely uploads more often than I do.
Hmm.
When Awakening is released on Xbox One, which I am waiting for, I'll probably end up putting some more Call of Duty highlights up, maybe even some analysis on the maps. Um, what else? Ideally, if I had a DS capture card, I would so do the Pokemon remakes coming out this month.
Yeah, I would too,
I,
but
I
it's too
totally
much.
would, but we cannot afford
No,
uh, DS capture cards right now.
they're
And
like
you know,
$500.
I just realized something. I have a nervous twitch where I bounce my leg, viewers, and I realized it kind of looks like I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing on YouTube with this small vibration.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, basically. Um, but I just have a nervous twitch. That's all it is. It's just me bouncing my leg.
I do too. I feel it. All right,
It's just bouncing my leg.
crotch shot.
That's all.
All right, now we're gonna go.
All right. Like I said, check us out. See if we have anything else you like. I'm Chris,
I'm Michael.
and we are Ambassadors of Gaming. We'll see you in the next one, okay?
See you in the next one. Goodbye.